Hello everyone, I'm Silverraptor and welcome to another Wargame Red Dragon gameplay video where I am doing a replay commentary of that US armored deck that we did. So, I just decided to surf around, see who's online. Surprisingly, not a lot of people. Everyone's playing Steel Division, it seems, but there's still a few people who are doing Wargame. I managed to find the room with Frank Underwood and Narwan, and we're going up against our opponents Shafadine, Larry TZK, and Jin816. Just give you a brief loadout of my deck. This is the first time well, not the first time, but one of the few times I actually split up my forces, where I have two forces going down these two separate roads, and I'm going in the center. I'm going to try to cover this wide front in Foxtrot. Anyways, I'll just start. We can start going through the troops as we go on. So first I have a bunch of Bradleys over here, and the reason why is the Bradleys have those tow missiles. I was thinking of getting them into the bush here, and then maybe push up here and just provide tow missile support over the canal here to help my ally if he does a push here into Bravo. In the meanwhile, in the center, I've got a huge armored column going down. I have one of my command Abrams is coming forward here. He's going to go and capture Charlie to give us our early advantage lead. It is a destruction after all, and for some reason one of my Abrams and Bradleys is going off over to the right. Onto the left, the longbow manages to get a head start, but does get shot down. But some Hellfire missiles, fire and forget, still manage to hit their target. But these Chinooks and Blackhawks are in easy picking for this Burayusa, so not a good start at the beginning for him here. M1 Abrams shot a Mi-24D as it was landed, taking that out. Another Mi-24D over there, and he is just going straight down the center. In the meanwhile, I am being hit by this Mi-24D. Does manage to take that out, and as you can see, a huge force is coming down the center that I need to retaliate on. My Bradleys here are providing cover, shooting down any T-80s, while my ally is just going straight down the center towards the enemy base here, as most of their forces seem to have come over this hill. One of my M1A1s is taken out by a BMP-3 Arcad missile, with the Bradley and the other M1A1 going to try to take out this BMP-3. One of the missiles does hit, but the front arm of the M1A1 does hold up. As focus fire is being held, another hit to the M1A1, but does take out the BMP-3, and all that's left are the Monostroke 90s as my M1A1 HC is coming over. Now, Norwan is making a pretty ballsy move, just charging over right into Alpha, and this is going to bring back so many of the enemy's focus. He's there bringing in, looks like an Su-25, based on the number of missiles that were firing there, and he captured the FOB even. So he needs to be careful with those M1A1. They're bringing in helicopters, and they're focusing on this, but this gives us the time. My ally uses his Mar-240s to just completely napalm whatever is left still alive here in this area, as my M1A1 takes out the 5-point drugs as it comes out. And due to the fact that my heavy tanks were able to make such a push against those BMP-3s and just clear them out with the support of all these Bradleys, I have successfully taken a huge wide front over Foxtrot. Now over on the right, my ally is performing a sneak flank attack onto my enemy, and I was trying to move my M2A1 Bradley, trying to take out this Afghansky, then maybe the T-80U, if I could get the chance, but I was going to have these riflemen go forward, and then see if I could help him out, while simultaneously send my Bradleys over here to the left and clear out any vehicles that might be. Narwan is making another move, looks like he's CV hunting. There's a CV right there, but unfortunately there's an Afghansky right there that's going to take out. Those Chinooks can get their miniguns on target, then he should be able to take out the UAZ. Fortunately, this Afghansky is able to shoot point blank range at those Chinooks, and those Chinooks just weren't able to get their miniguns on target. Now over on the right, my M11A3 is taking hit by the T-80U, but my Rifleman 90s are beginning to move across. There is the misfire from a Buratino. I was thinking of the name, been a little bit of a while. So I'm going to send my rifleman to try to take on that. In the meanwhile, I am continuing my push here. I'm moving up Bradley with the PVAD in order to screen for any vehicles and helicopters that might be, as I'm going to begin pushing into the left side here as well. Now the riflemen do get hit by the Buratino, but I only got half of them. These other half are able to escape away on the side. This BMPT is taking hits by this HVMS, does survive, but it's going to have trouble finding my Rifleman 90s with all this napalm, and that's going to give me a chance as I'm just running forward, trying to find the Buratino. As I'm reorganizing my troops, I'm setting the Super Dragon up, the scout, given that it's only 10 points, to see if there's anything that's still alive in all this black, smoldering mess, as the BMPT goes down to the HVMS. Seeing that nothing is shooting back at it, I begin moving forward. My Rifleman 90 are coming up against Strokey as I move my PVADs forward so that they can get on line of target against Strokey, because they can definitely take out infantry, no problem. My Rifleman 90 are beginning to be picked off by these BETR 80As. But over on the right, my Rifleman 90 did manage to find a Ural here. Don't know if they managed to get Buratino. Up there's a Tor that's retreating. Don't see any Buratino corpse. I thought I'd gotten it. Well. Ural's taken. That's alerted them that my troops are there. In the meanwhile, my Riflemen and Strokey are fighting it out. I did lose my PVAD to a missile, but that my ally is dropping a whole bunch of napalm rockets over here, completely coating Bravo in righteous blue for fire. Now that we can join the fun, Riflemen 90s are holding their own against Strokey. Strokey 90s, very deadly anti-tank weapon, not very good other infantry weapon. As you can see, they are basically the same kind of comparable against the US Riflemen 90s. Riflemen 90s, now caught out in the open, are going to be picked off by the Afghansky BMPT and anything that moves. But now that I know that the Ural is under our control, I begin moving it back as well. BMPT is going to start opening up on these Riflemen 90s, who fire back with their AT-4 weapon but miss. Given that these guys are calm, they do manage to hit, but they're down to one hit left. Take quite a beating from the BMPT and the Afghansky. Fires one more round, but 2 men are left, and with the final shot does manage to take out the BMPT, so that still makes their lives worthwhile. But the BMPT-2s do manage to fire, leaves one last rifleman alive, as my allies are trying to screen his retreat with a smoke screen. But I managed to get a Euro 4320 under my control, and I have all this troops that need to be resupplied over here. A BMPT is also moved over here on the left. I move my Bradley M3A2 with its TOW-2 missiles to go, and it hits the front armor BMPT, but the BMPT is so strong it managed to survive the first of the TOW-2 missiles, requiring a second. Strokey 90s are actually winning against the Rifleman 90s. But I'm trying to move my stuff over here to be able to provide supporting fire down below. Over on the right, Roviet 90s are going up against BMP2s and an Afghansky, while my Ural does manage new Ural does manage to get into supply as more of my reinforcements are coming forward. So as you can see, action is happening simultaneously over a whole of the field, and as I have the center, I have the responsibility to help out both of my teammates, but right now I'm just trying to secure this compound. A Buratino is charging up, preparing for a fire shot. I think... yeah, my Abrams did go down to more ATGM fire that was over there for the time being, as here comes the fire of a Buratino, or 3 missiles. Which, thankfully, don't do a whole lot. So now we seem to get a calm before the storm. This T-80U has been in the front for quite a long while. My ally has been really unable to take it out. Darwin saying we're going to need a CV for that, so we'll definitely need to focus on that in a little bit. M3A2 is firing with his Bushmaster, does successfully take out the BMP3 before getting hit by another ATGM. Meanwhile, I'm massing infantry here and my Rifleman 90 move forward for yet another push onto this town. Over on the right, a huge flock of Mortistroki are here, but with all these heavy armored APC units and the machine gun fire from the Roviet 90, these Mortistroki are caught in the crosshair and they're not going to last for very long. So, bit of a suicide march there. My lad Stinger C's are trying to escape from Mortistroki. I have my mortars fire where the Stingers were but just a moment ago to make sure that they can get away safely. Regular riflemen are going up against Spetsnaz. I feel so sorry for you, riflemen. As soon as those Spetsnaz get into that town, that rifleman will be taken up, especially since it seems there's reinforcements here. Delta Force is trying to come and flank on the Spetsnaz, but these Moskaya Pichotas are going to intercept those Delta Force. As more and more reinforcements of mine are arriving. I provide some mortar support here trying to take out this Tor. Tor saw that it was indeed being a target and has moved out of that area. As usual, I had shift clicked it so my mortars would move automatically when they finished firing. The Mortistroki 90s are pushing forward, but with my M1A1 Abrams providing machine gun supporting fire is going to successfully take out these Mortistroki, saving my lad Stinger C's, who are going to head back to these Hems for a resupply. Now there's some stuff coming down the road here, going to reinforce our ally into Gulf. Gulf is neutralized. I should have picked up and brought his EV in sooner. For the middle, and Afghansky was taken out the moment it revealed itself to its HVMS, being the godlike recon anti-armor unit it is. So now that my riflemen have successfully made it into this town, the enemy can no longer really threaten this forest, and I'm able to solidify my hold on defending over Bravo. And this gives us a lot of room. We could definitely completely take this hill. I need to bring reinforcements back onto this forest here, as well as my ally on the right. Defending it does manage to take out a T-80U with PT-76Bs. That was interesting. Afghansky is going up against infantry, and it doesn't work out well for it. So we are slowly but surely pushing forward, but the enemy is still holding on there, as it seems, as one of my 5-point trucks of death does go down. I have an MPT-70 in an interesting position. He can provide HGGM fire as well as 5 HE rounds. I was intending to shoot at any enemy infantry that might have shot out of this village, but clearly there are none left. And here comes a shower of napalm rockets. Was forecasted today, I'm sorry to say. Will be over in about 40 seconds. So in the meanwhile, keep your napalm suits nice and fine. Mortistroki crested the hill line. Wasn't the smartest move for them, as my M1 Abrams greets them and says hello. And the power of the Adlerites are in full display as they just provide complete machine gun peppering fire over these Mortistroki, with the only fear with these BMP-2s with their autocannons to be able to take out these APCs. BT-76B is the only thing left that can take out those APCs, but the BMP-2s do succeed in the end, so they are still holding on. In the meanwhile, I have moved my command Abrams from Charlie up to Foxtrot, given that Foxtrot is plus 4 points and Charlie is plus 2 points. And I will have one of the 100-point Jeeps, those cheap Jeeps, coming up to save Charlie, given that we have so much buffer. It is highly unlikely the enemy is going to take out that APC. BTR-80A is taken out by the AT-4 weapon, and some Spetsnaz GRU are now forced into this village to engage my riflemen. And a T-72B1, which is going to fire support, and this gives the Spetsnaz GRU a very good advantage, given that they already have a very powerful submachine gun there. Cavalry scouts are moving forward. They fire one of their missiles. Does hit the PDR-RDM-3, but just barely does not kill it, as they are taken out. T-72B1 is getting within range of my rifleman 90s, trying to probably see them, but that allows the AT-4 weapons to begin opening up and eventually take them out. Yep. So that was a bit of a missed micro play on his part. He does move the smoke forward, as it looks like I see. He was moving it forward to take out my Bradleys, as I moved my Bradleys forward to take out that tank. Well, now, We have 21 riflemen versus Spetsnaz GRU. Believe it or not, my money's on the Spetsnaz GRU for winning this outright, if no other interference happens. A MiG-25 RBT is coming forward to drop its bomb, but does get taken out by a Shanav 2. Another one of the Shanav 2 missiles does indeed hit. Cluster munition wasn't exactly on target, but the helicopters are going to take out these cheap tanks of the Israelis, as my ally is successfully succeeding in getting all of Gulf. My reinforcements are arriving. The Spetsnaz GRU are still holding out against these riflemen and do successfully take out 2 of my squads of riflemen right here. And now we're going up against these Rifleman 90s. But with my reinforcements here, these Rifleman 90s just might be able to hold on and take out these Spetsnaz GRU. If they can take out these Spetsnaz GRU, then we have no more contested. And there goes the Bradley taking out the Spetsnaz GRU, as the helicopters are now going to retreat from the full machine gun firepower of the Azarit coming forward. So, ally is taking control of Gulf. I am pushing forward here in the center. My ally is still fighting any last pockets of resistance in Bravo, as we are securing our force. My 5-point trucks of death were revealed. I had to drop out my infantry, and that for some reason made the 5-point trucks of death hidden and revealed my infantry. I'm not entirely sure how that worked, but I'm going to be trying to move my riflemen over here to help out my ally, see if he can give any more reinforcements, since the Kviv and I already have a lot of infantry in this forest already. My CV is in position. I'm sending back the Ural I captured for repair and resupply, as we just prepare up for a big push that we're going to be taking out on the enemy's last 2 sectors, both Echo and Alpha. And now the BRDM-3 that we were showing earlier, it's on 1 HP, but I didn't know that at the time. And it can actually fire its autocannon without revealing itself if you have no recon. Riflemen having medium optics still isn't enough to see the BRDM-3 as it's firing back. So I move forward my M1A1 HC Abrams. I was thinking if I could get this thing to fire at me, I'd be able to take it out with such awesome, massive firepower. It seems like something was killed by the Attack'em squad here. What vehicle was that? Ah, the CV and the Afghansky was here. I had my Abrams fire position into that forest to see if I could kill whatever it was autocannoning. But it seems they have another CV here in Alpha. In the meanwhile, an SU-25 is coming forward for my Abrams. My Abrams is not going to stand up against that. And my Abrams does indeed go down, as well as my Bradley gets hit by these helicopters. But the SU-25 does go down to the Shanav 2s. Bradleys are firing forward with their Bushmasters, helping taking out those Mi-24P. As you noticed, I am now light on AA. That's because I called in my AA forever ago. But you definitely want to have plenty of AA, as there is another batch of arson going over here in Bravo, as the enemy is also bringing his firepower of a Buratino down on my forces here. So we're literally watching the world burn at this point in glorious fire. But now that my PVADs and Chaparral are up, and I'm bringing forward another Chaparral, just need to get enough AA that I feel comfortable pushing forward against the enemy helicopters and that SU-25, if they have any more of them. Raven, come forward. Find one juicy radar target, as the Buratino fires another batch of napalm, but thankfully misses a majority of my riflemen, as my riflemen are able to now retreat into a pocket where there's no napalm. Azerites are coming up against VDV-90s. VDV-90s, of course, have the anti-tank weapon to take out those Azerites, but it's just a matter of question if the machine gun firepower of the Azerites can take out the VDV-90s, and if it stuns them, definitely works. So now we're just waiting for the fire to burn out. I have a spare M2A2 Bradley. I'm just moving forward to a few of these pockets of trees, see if I can tuck it away, shoot at any vehicles that comes down into this bridge, tries to do a massive counterattack. as the Hemp and the Euro are now fully supplied, are going to distribute the supplies and repair. And the thing about the Buratino, it's not really a unit you should just use by itself, because as you can see with that fire, my troops were combat ineffective. They definitely could not really fight back. But now that he's giving them a chance to reprieve and let this Hemp catch up, they're now going to be okay. Mi-24 VP gets taken out by the Chaparral with help from the other AA piece there. Rifleman 90R being taken out. Now we're beginning to play the mortar and artillery war, shooting at where everyone thinks they are. I only have one Chaparral, but I have a Stinger C up on this mountain. And with the help of the Stinger C, does shoot down a plane as an F-15D Eagle. I bring in finally for that BRDM-3. Does get taken out by the Su-27S as it almost got out. Does a glorious backflip, but the Shanav 2s does take revenge and take out the Su-27S. So even though the F-15D Eagle did go down, it took a high expensive unit with it. And Atherit is out of machine gun fire, so it's unable to actually kill this UAZ, but it forced them out of Echo, making it so that they get less points and less chance to stop a firepower or a push, giving them less points to access. A Buratino is preparing for another napalm missile. I have my Bradley M2A2 target fire that Buratino and successfully take it out, so no more rocket fire for you. Bradley is going to return and get this BTRD, and they have reduced the number of tows that the Bradleys do carry. At least the infantry variant, they can only carry 4 tow missiles each. So they do run out of ammunition, whereas the recon version, the M3A2, has about 12 of those missiles. So the Bradley 2 is successfully into this forest, but it's revealing itself because it's got a delicious BTRD to take out, and this is now my forward unit. As my ally is beginning to do his push forward into Echo, he's got Merkavas and Magek 7C Gimmels. An M1, I'm bringing forward another M1A2 Abrams. I already have one up here, but seeing that my ally is going before, and I should be moving him in a bit. Su-25 is coming forward. I know he's coming forward for my allies M1A1. Do we have enough AA in position? Chaparral is firing as well as the Stinger C. Stinger C does hit. Chaparral cleans up for the kill. And that's another Su-25 that is down, as my ally is just taking up a more defensive position on Echo. So Norwan's big push here into Alpha was very unorthodox, and the enemy was clearly not expecting that. He was also lucky that none of his troops were on the road at the time. He had actually moved the enemy moved the tanks into this forest, so with the road he was able to drive right past him. Had his troops still been on the road, it would have been a much bigger story, I feel. Bradley's going up against BMP-3, basically the counterparts going up against each other, and the M2A2 Bradley, being 5 points less, does win against the BMP-3. M1A2 Abrams is in position going into this forest line, has a nice line of sight all along this edge here to shoot at any infantry or anything that reveals itself, to be honest. As the M3A2 Bradley comes in to see if it can spot anything that it can shoot. URL is going to resupply this Bradley with its TOW 2, or at least a number of my units here, as they are all clustered ready to go. Time now for a glorious finish. My M1A2 Abrams is going to be going around into this area to see if he can get a better line of sight. Given that he has such heavy armor, I have less fear putting him up into any of these tree forest line of interception from infantry. He should be able to survive anything that hits him in the front armor. I'm also going to bring up an M1 Abrams, which we haven't seen yet. One of the cheaper tanks. They are going to go... I was excited. I'm going to set this up in position and then move forward, given that they have 15 front armor. They're a nice, good scout force as well. Norwan sends an M1A1 Abrams, finds there isn't a whole lot to stop them except an Su-25S. Firing computers reset does indeed hit that, but the Su-25 flies over my Stinger and my Chaparral, but manages to succeed in getting out so far. But with the Macbeth does succeed in taking out the SU-25 as all the napalm rockets once again come in and start coating Alpha into fire. So now it's my turn to scout out what the enemy has left, seeing that there is pulsely resistance. They seem to be throwing a lot of their points on planes. Planes, while good, you definitely need to have a ground force to keep your enemy back at bay, as evident by 5-point trucks of death. With just their Browning machine guns, they're marching through this village, and nothing is shooting back at them. Undeterred, I'm going to have these 5-point trucks of death just see if they can find any UAV or any CV, and they seem to have found it, opening up with their Browning machine guns. Take out one of the UAVs, but that is not enough. They still have one CV left, but they've just lost all of their reinforcement points. So where is this CV hiding? As Frank Underwood moves his troops down, finds that the UAV is still right there, and successfully takes it out for a win. So excellent use of a U.S. armored deck, using my allies flanking me on the right. M1A1 managed to kill a whole lot at the start there. The initial game was won in that big confrontation that the enemy had. I think it's just because I had a little bit too much of heavy armor that he was expected to. With the 17 front armor of an M1A1 Abrams, having 2 of them, they were able to withstand enough of the missiles from the BMP-3s. They were able to eventually clean up everything and then get a good position to push forward. Bradley's provided all excellent TOW missile fire support, especially the PVADs backing them up. As you can see, I didn't bring enough AA. I was losing a number of tanks here, but my M1A1 definitely held that top of the hill pretty well. Yep, a lot of the problems were Conqueror's Elms and the SU-25. So definitely needed to bring in more AA. We certainly had it. I was trying to get a armored presence there. But those Bradleys, area denial of those TOW missiles, normally vehicles with ATGMs, and basically vehicles with ATGMs are a little gimmicky. If they're by themselves, they can only fire one missile before they have to retreat, and they have to hit on the front. But having so many Bradleys at your command, you can coat an entire area with ATGMs and just generally take out heavier tanks that come forward on the first shot, especially with the accuracy of the M2A2 Bradley. So I do hope you enjoyed that. That was definitely a fun game to play. Just slowly but surely winning outright in the first engagement, and watch as the enemy slowly bled as we pushed forward slowly, and for the ultimate win. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe down below if you had enjoyed watching this game. And I'll see you all in the next Wargame video and or any other video that I might release in the future. So, catch you all later.